morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode of our virtual Fit in the Core. This week we have Burlington Physiotherapy. Rihanna is going to take us through a flow workout. I've been there for physiotherapy myself. I think they're fantastic, and I'm super excited that we're doing this workout together this morning.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your mat. My name is Rihanna Clamott. I'm a yoga teacher through the Burlington Physiotherapy and Health Clinic. I'm really excited to be guiding everyone through their yoga practice tonight. Today we're going to do kind of a little bit of everything with our yoga class, just kind of get us introduced to a lot of the different elements of yoga, breath work, some asanas, some postures. So I really hope everyone enjoys their class today. We are offering yoga every Thursday at 7:00 p.m. and the price is $10 drop-in or $45 for a 5-class pass. So if you're interested, you can check out the Burlington Physiotherapy and Health Clinic on MindBody, or you can contact me. I'll give you my information at the end of class. But if you're interested, I'd love to have you, and we can definitely chat about you coming to class in the future. So without further ado, I'll head to my mat. I'm just going to start our playlist. Perfect. So for tonight, we're going to use blocks or any props that you might have. So if you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. You can use blankets or books or anything that is going to support you. So I'll give you a chance to go grab that now if that's what you're using. If not, we can still for sure work through the poses without the props, and I'll make sure to guide you on how that is going to work. So if you have blocks for tonight, we're going to start in what's called supine bound angle pose. Just take my socks off here. So what that looks like is you're taking your feet together, the bottoms of your feet together, and you're allowing your knees to fall open. Once you do that, you can just make your way down onto your back, onto your mat. And maybe you're practicing outside on the grass or on your carpet or wherever you are. So just finding that comfort. And if you do have blocks or props, you can place those under your knees. That's where I want you to start today. This is a really beautiful, supportive, restorative pose. It also helps to release the lower back. So if you've been doing a lot of work today, lifting, anything like that, this will feel really good for your back. So today we'll get started in this supine position. And I always like to lead all of you beautiful yogis in letting go of your day and letting go of anything that is no longer serving you. So as you inhale, think of anything that you want or need to let go of. And as you exhale, breathe it out and let it go. Picture whatever this is physically leaving you out through your mouth, out through your nose as you exhale. There's so many elements to yoga, but a very important element that we often overlook is just being and just letting go. So tonight, I both challenge and invite you to be here with your breath and to let go of anything that is no longer serving you today. Allow each breath to feel like you're melting deeper into your mat. You're noticing any areas of tension that you're holding on to, physical areas of tension. So anything, any muscles in your face that you need to relax. Maybe removing your tongue from the roof of your mouth, allowing your jaw to relax. Our next 5 breaths, we'll take deep inhales and deep exhales. So inhale through your nose and exhale through your nose. Your next inhale, place your hands on your belly. As you inhale, feel your belly rise. As you exhale, feel your belly fall. Your next breath, inhale, try and feel a little higher. Try and fill your belly with even more breath. Exhale, let it all go. Your last 2 breaths, choose to exhale through your nose or your mouth, going at your own pace. Just let it go. Last breath. Beautiful, yogis. If you are on top of props, blocks, books, whatever it might be, just remove them off to the side for now. Take your hands back to your belly. Extend your legs long. As you inhale, reach your arms up over your head. Extend your legs out in front of you. Gather breath. Exhale, let it go. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale, release. Last one. Inhaling as you reach. Exhale, let it all go. Take your arms back by your side. On an inhale, bring your feet to your mat. On an exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Give yourself a nice tight squeeze. Extend gratitude. Exhale, let it go. Take your feet to your mat. On an inhale, take your right knee into your chest. We'll start to do tiny circles here with your right knee. We're opening up the hip, getting into the hip flexors. A really underrated pose here to do, as we tend to not stretch out the hip muscles as much as we should. If it's in your practice, go ahead and extend your left leg long. Point your toes. Relax any muscles that don't need to be moving or working right now. And just feel the movement. We'll take 1 more round and then we'll switch directions. So moving in the opposite direction. We'll do 2 more rounds, just circling into the hips. On your last breath, start to take your knee towards your shoulder. So now we're starting to really open up the hip joints. Keeping your left foot grounded if your leg is extended. We'll find a nice half happy baby. So a couple variations we can do here. If this feels good with opening up your right hip, stay right here. If not, you can start to grab a hold of the outside of your foot with your hand. Starting to extend your foot up towards the ceiling. So it's almost like you're walking on the ceiling or on the sky if you're outside. If it feels good, extend your left arm long. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Keep grounding into your left heel. We'll take 3 breaths here wherever you are. We're really just opening up the hip. Beautiful. On your next breath, take your right knee back to center. You might feel it's a little more open now than usual. Take your foot to your mat and take your left knee into your chest. Leave your right foot grounded just for now as you start to open up your left hip. We'll do a few rounds of circles here. And then once you feel comfortable, if it's in your practice, go ahead and extend your right leg. Have a slight tuck of your chin and just relax your shoulders so you're not all tense. Your shoulders aren't all scrunched up. We'll take one more round of breath. And then we'll switch directions. Two more rounds of breath. Last round. Good. On your last breath, take your left knee towards your left shoulder, opening up your hip. If this is enough, stay here. Maybe take your right hand to your right hip, just grounding down. If not, start to come into that half happy baby. You might feel a difference on this side. I know I do. And that's okay. It's perfectly normal for different sides to have different levels. Then go ahead, if you would like, and extend your right arm beside you. Maybe glance over your right shoulder. We'll take two more rounds of breath here. If you're in half happy baby, you're pulling your elbow in towards your shin. Beautiful. As you exhale, take your knee back into your chest. Take both knees into your chest. We'll just do a couple quick rounds here of circles with both knees, opening them up away from each other. Good. We'll move in the opposite direction now. So closing them together, opening them up. One more round. Good. Take your knees back into your chest. We'll come into full happy baby. If that's not in your practice, just go ahead and open up your knees away from each other towards your shoulders. You'll still feel that nice opening of the hips. If you're going to happy baby, go ahead and wrap your hands around your feet. And it's just like you're walking on the ceiling or the sky. So your feet are nice and parallel to that ceiling or sky wherever you are. And you're pulling your your elbows into your shins. So it is active. And maybe you found a little bit of movement from side to side, just massaging your spine. So we'll take 5 rounds of breath here. Go ahead and close your eyes, get comfy, get relaxed, release tension. Last round of breath. Beautiful. On your inhale, take your knees back into your chest. Give yourself another hug. Wrap your hands around your legs. We'll start to find that rock and roll up and down, massaging the entire spine. Let's take a few rounds. Take one more rock and roll. And we'll be up in a seated pose. So if you have blocks, if you're practicing with props, you can go ahead and grab those. Just place them in front of you or off to the side. So we'll do double pigeon. This is one of my favorite hip openers. So there's a couple levels here that I'll walk you through. So take your dominant foot, whether that's right or left, whatever that is for you. Just go ahead and pick up your foot off of the floor or your mat. So we'll place it on the opposite leg. Now, the lowest level is likely going to be on top of the shin, or you might just come into a nice, easy pose where your legs are crossed. If you're looking to go a little bit deeper, you can place your foot on top of your thigh. So your foot, for me, it's my right side. So my right foot is on top of my left thigh, and my foot is kind of facing me. Okay, so if you do have your blocks or your props, just go ahead and take them out in front of you. If not, I'll walk you through what to do there. So take your hands, first of all, to your lap or to your knees. Just take your hands there now. Inhale, start to roll your shoulders back. And exhale, roll them together. One more round. And when your shoulders roll back together, just start to slightly lift your gaze. Just gently look up. Just closing your eyes. Beautiful. On our next breath, start to take your fingertips out in front of you. So out on the ground, you will likely come off of your mat. Just tent your fingertips. Gently begin to walk your fingers forward. So immediately I feel that stretch in my right hip and my right thigh. You might feel that too. If you don't, that's okay, but you might want to take it a little further. That's up to you. So stop wherever you can stop, wherever it feels comfortable. Take a moment, inhale, lift your gaze. On your exhale, slowly begin to fold forward. Now your blocks are going to come in great here because you can rest your forehead on them. And of course, blocks or books or blankets will work. Blocks have different levels, so you can kind of make them come up a little bit higher if that feels better for you. And wherever you land, we'll take 5 breaths. Just let go. So you shouldn't feel pain here. You should just feel a really nice stretch. If you feel pain, just go down a level. And if you don't have blocks, that's totally fine. You can just allow your head to hang heavy. Last breath. Beautiful. Come high on your fingertips. Gently begin to walk your hands back towards your body. And very, very gently, we're just going to lift up the foot or your foot off of your leg, and we'll switch sides here. So your non-dominant side, same thing here. For me, it's my left. I'm just lifting it on top of my right thigh. You might be putting your foot on top of your shin or just coming into a simple cross-legged easy pose. Whatever is good for you. No right or wrong in yoga. Good, so first just take your hands to your lap or to your knees. Start to roll your shoulders back, 3 breaths. On the last breath, just lift your gaze slightly and exhale. Good, take your fingertips out in front of you. Gracefully begin to walk forward. We still have a nice long elongated spine, so we're not letting go just yet. When you feel like you've gone the furthest, you can go stop. Take a moment, inhale, lift your gaze. Exhale, start to take your head down. Your choice, blocks or not, or props rather. Two more rounds of breath. On an inhale, begin to come up slowly. Come high on your fingertips, gently begin to walk back. Remove your props for now if you have them. Slowly move that leg off, gently unwinding, and we'll just immediately come forward into tabletop. So check your alignment, make sure your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Tuck your toes here. Super, super underrated. Our feet do a lot of work for us throughout the day, so it feels really good to stretch out the bottoms of the feet. We'll do a couple rounds of cat-cow. On an inhale, begin to drop your belly, round your shoulders, lift your gaze. Exhale, pull your belly into your spine, round your shoulders forward, drop your gaze. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, round forward, cat pose. Good, let's move at our own breath and own pace for 3 more rounds. Beautiful, coming back to center. Just to do a little stretch here. On an inhale, take your right leg out behind you, come high on your toes. Just start to move back and forth, stretching out the bottoms of your foot, stretching out your wrists. Make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. It feels almost like you're gripping your mat. Beautiful. We'll just stretch out the other side, so extend your left leg long, just little stretches. Coming forward over the wrists. If you have a desk job or you type a lot on a computer, this feels really, really good too. Really great to stretch out the wrists. Good, one more breath. And come back to center into your tabletop. Good, take an inhale. As you exhale, walk your knees back a few inches. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and we'll come into our first downward dog. Feel out this pose. Make sure your fingers are still spread wide. Send your hips towards the back of the room wherever you are. And totally fine here to bend into your joints. So if you need to bend your knees or your elbows, super, super allowed in downward dog. Let's take 3 collective breaths together. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and move to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Beautiful. Let's move through a few more rounds of half sun salves. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, release. Inhale, rise, strong legs. Exhale, palms to heart. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Good. 3 breaths here in Tadasana. Take your arms by your sides. Open up your palms. Feet are hip width apart. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Let's get back to our intention here today. We're here to let go. We're here to breathe out physically anything that is no longer mentally or physically serving us. Take 3 rounds of breath here, breathing out those tensions and letting them go. Beautiful. On your last round of breath, inhale, reach your arms up high. Take your palms together above your head. Glue your biceps to your ears. Feel like you're gluing your feet down to your mat. Inhale, reach up even higher. Exhale, come over towards the left. You'll feel your right hip or your right foot start to lift, just ground down into your mat. Allow each exhale to bring you a little deeper into your side bend. Take 1 more breath. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, other side. We'll do 1 more breath. Exhale, come over to the side. Inhale, up. Beautiful. Drop your hands down to your side. So I'm going to give everyone a bit of a challenge with our sun salutations today. So if you are practicing with a block, a book might work, but it depends if it's the right book or not. A block will work best. Blanket could also work. We're going to try sun salves with a block. So I'm going to show you what that will look like. If you're not into it, no worries. You don't have to try. But so today, we're going to take the block in between your thighs. So this is going to be like an extra anchor that we're going to be holding together as we work through sun salves. It's actually really fun. So come to the top of your mat if you're using a block or a prop. And we'll see if it works. If it doesn't, you can just take it off to the side. So we'll come into Tadasana. Take your arms by your sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, point your crown. Exhale, plant your palms to your mat. Now you might, instead of stepping back, just kind of tiptoe to the back of your mat, come into your plank. This is still gonna work with a block. Spread your fingers wide, take an inhale. On an exhale, begin to lower halfway or all the way down to your mat. Whichever you choose, cobra or upward dog, come through your back bend. On an exhale, begin to push yourself back. So whether you're coming into tabletop, or you can skip the entire vinyasa, that's up to you, or you can come into child's pose. You got a few options. So we'll do 2 more rounds of that. I still have the block in between my thighs. So if you're in downward dog, on an inhale, come high on your toes, bend your knees, and tiptoe forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, strong legs. Exhale, palms to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your palms. If you have the prop there, just tiptoe back. If not, hop or step. Vinyasa or skip it. Good, we meet in downward dog or child's pose, whatever you're practicing with today. Take 3 breaths here. Last breath. Exhale it out. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Last round. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant your palms, step it back, plank. Your choice to vinyasa or skip it. Downward dog, 3 breaths. Last breath. Let it go. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees and move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Beautiful. So awesome job if you did the 3 sun cells with the prop. If not, still awesome job. It's always an awesome job, but you just might feel a little different for moving through it with a block. So taking your hands by your side, we'll come into our Tadasana mountain pose. Close your eyes. 3 breaths here. Last breath. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your right hand down into your mat or come high on your right fingertips and bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight, but not so to lock your knee joint. Just keep it nice and straight. If you have to have a little bend, that's okay. Inhale, reach your left arm high. Find a twist. Another thing that will help here is having a block under your right hand. So send your left fingertips up nice and high. Lift your gaze. And take 3 more breaths here. Last breath. Beautiful. Exhale, come back down. Switch sides. Bend your left knee. Take your left palm to your mat or to a block. Inhale, reach your right arm high. 2 more rounds of breath. Beautiful. Exhale, let it go. Removing the block off to the side. On an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step back. Option to vinyasa or skip it. We meet in downward dog or child's pose. If you're in child's pose, take 2 breaths and then come up to downward dog. One more breath in downward dog. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, high on your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, move forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Good. So we'll come into a nice balancing pose. We're going to come into tree. Start with your hands at your hips. Start to open up your right foot. So opening up into that side. Then take the bottom of your foot either to your shin or your thigh. Never, never your knee. At this point, you can take your hands in front of you into a nice prayer pose, or you can grow your branches. I always like to challenge my yogis to close your eyes in a tree pose. This just creates an extra challenge for your balance. You can also lift your arms up a little higher. Make sure your core is engaged and just find a slight back bend. Just send your gaze slightly up. Maybe do both for a bit of an extra challenge. Here, find your drishti, your focal point, something that is not moving in front of you that you can focus all of your energy and attention into. Good, let's take 2 more rounds of breath, keeping your focus, not forgetting to breathe. Beautiful. So we'll begin, we're on the right side. So we'll take the right hand under your left arm. We're coming into eagle arms. If this doesn't work for you, you can take your hands to your shoulders. So one more time, arms come parallel, right arm under left. You're wrapping it around. If you can take your palms together, that's great. If not, it's also great to put them on your shoulders. Beautiful. So without dropping your foot, start to bend into your left knee, lift your right leg high, and begin to wrap it around your left leg. So I'm also totally losing my balance here. That's okay. Come back to your focal point. Come back to your drishti. If you are near a wall and you need a wall, go ahead and use that. Just an added prop. If you can, sit a little bit lower. If you're not able to wrap your right leg all the way around, you can always take a block under your foot. Good, let's take 1 more breath. Exhale it out. Beautiful, keep your arms where they are. Slowly unwind your right leg. Try not to take it down to your mat and step it back, coming into warrior 1. So left knee is bent. Make sure your heels are aligned and both feet are planted. We still have eagle arms. If you're getting tired of that, you can again take your hands to your shoulders. Keep the bend in that left knee. Inhale, reach your arms and your gaze up. Exhale, back bend. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back bend. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Good, start to unwind your arms and just come back to your warrior 1. Lift your arms up high. Pull your left hip back and your right hip forward. 3 breaths here, letting go. Beautiful. On an inhale, take your arms back down to your side. Start to do circles with your shoulders. So just moving your shoulder blades together behind your back. Good. The next time you roll your shoulders together, either interlace your fingers behind your back or take your hands to where your jean pockets would be, your lower back. On an inhale, puff your chest out, lift your gaze. On an exhale, straighten your left leg. You're still looking up. Take an inhale. On your exhale, start to hip hinge forward, coming into pyramid. If your fingers are interlaced, send them back behind you. Let your head hang heavy. Good, take one more round of breath. On an exhale, take your hands beside your left foot. You might want to find a bit of a micro bend here in your left knee. If you have blocks, grab a hold of them, or props, books, whatever. Just place them in front of you for now. Start to take your fingers to your mat. Start to come high on your right toes. So we're setting up for a nice warrior three or standing splits, whatever's in your practice. So we're just starting to get the hang of putting all of the weight into the left foot. So once you feel comfy, if you have blocks, go ahead and take those blocks beside your foot on either side. Start to put all the weight into your left foot and begin to lift your right leg high. Feel the strength in both your left leg and your left glute and your right glute as it's lifting up your leg. Your hips are still square. If it's in your practice, maybe you can even lift your hands off of your mat and take them behind your back. This will really challenge your balance today. Keep your focus on your drishti and keep with your breath. Don't forget to breathe. Take one more breath. Exhale, plant your palms, step your right foot back. We'll come into our high lunge. So just removing any props. Start to get comfortable, putting all of the weight into your left foot. Your ankle is under your knee. Once you build your foundation, inhale, reach your arms up high. So here, your right heel is lifted and you're high on your right toes. Take 3 breaths. Good, on your last breath, open up to your warrior 2. Make sure your heels are aligned and relax your shoulders. Feel like you're opening up your left knee towards the top left corner of your mat. We'll take 2 more rounds of breath here. Good, on an inhale, start to straighten out your left leg and reach your arms up high. Take your fingers together, glue your biceps to your ears and send your gaze up high. Good, on an exhale, side bend over to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior 2. 3 breaths here. Good, 1 more round. Inhale, reach your arms up, glue your biceps to your ears. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior 2. We're gonna take 5 breaths in warrior 2. Try and bend a little deeper into your left knee. Make sure your knee is over your ankle. You got 3 more, you got this. Gaze over your left middle finger. For 3, for 2, for 1. Cartwheeling your hands to frame your left foot. Step your foot back. Take an optional vinyasa or head straight to downward dog. The good news is we get to do the other side. Once you land in your resting pose, take 3 breaths. Beautiful. If you're in any other pose other than downward dog, just head there now. Beautiful. Once you get there, on an inhale, lift your heels up high. Exhale, bend your knees and step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, palms to heart. Good. We'll find tree on the opposite side, on the left side, opening up your hip and taking your variation, whatever that looks like. Come back to your breath. Come back to letting go. If your mind starts racing, don't allow it to. Allow yourself to be, to just be. We have 3 more rounds of breath. Can you let go a little more? Beautiful. Last exhale. Take your arms out in front of you so they're parallel to the ground. Take your left arm under your right. Lift your elbows so they're at your shoulder height. Without dropping your left foot, bend into your right knee. Find your eagle pose. 5 breaths. Keep focusing on your drishti. Don't lose focus and don't lose your breath. Last one. Exhale. Beautiful. Keep your arms where they are without dropping your left foot. Step back to your warrior 1. Right knee is bent, both feet are planted. Make sure the heels align. Pull your right hip back, left hip forward. 3 breaths here. Beautiful. On an inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, back bend. Keep bending into your knee. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back bend. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Come back up to center. Unwind. Release your arms. Lift them up to your warrior 1. Sink deeper into your right knee. Take 3 breaths. Beautiful. On your last breath, take your hands by your side. Start to round your shoulders back together. 3 rounds. On your last round, either take your hands above your jean pockets or interlace your fingers. Pull your shoulders together. Take an inhale. Exhale, straighten out your right leg. Take an inhale. Look up. Exhale, hip hinge forward. Coming into your pyramid pose. Last breath. Exhale, take your palms to frame your right foot. We'll set up for our warrior 3 or half splits. If you know that you're going to use blocks, go ahead and take them beside your right foot. Putting all the weight into your foot. Starting to lift your left foot high. Find your variation. Just check to make sure your hips are square. To do that, you'll want to make sure your left toes are pointing down. We'll take 3 more breaths wherever you are. Try and lift your left leg a little bit higher. Beautiful. Exhale, take your hands to your mat, remove your blocks. Step your left foot back. We'll set up for our high lunge. Once you have that strong foundation, you can rise. Take 2 more rounds of breath. Beautiful. On your last breath, open up warrior 2. 3 more rounds of breath. Letting go. Relaxing your shoulders. Beautiful. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Take your palms together. Look up. Exhale, side bend towards the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior 2, 3 breaths. Really bend into your right knee. Inhale, straighten out your leg. Reach your arms up, look up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, back up to center. Exhale, warrior 2. We'll take 5 breaths here. Really let go. Last breath. As you exhale, cartwheel to frame your right foot, step back, take your last optional vinyasa, or head to child's pose. If you chose to vinyasa, once you come into downward dog, just take your knees to your mat and come into child's pose. Once here, just focus on making sure that the mind is still and is being. It is here in the moment. We'll take 5 breaths here. On your last breath, gently pull yourself back up to a tabletop. Just sit your hips over to one side. We'll come into a seated pose. So we'll do one of my favorite twists. There's a couple of variations that I'll walk you through. So first, bend into your right knee and take your foot to your mat or to the floor. It will likely come off of your mat. So this is the first variation. Stay here if this is enough. If not, lift your right foot and place it on the outside of your left thigh. While you do that, keep your left toes pointed. So again, if this is enough, stay here. If not, bend your left knee and send your left foot towards your hip, your right hip. So it looks a little complicated, but getting there step by step wasn't too bad for us. So at this point, we're going to ground into the right hand. Inhale as you reach your left arm high and twist towards the right. You can take your elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Coming into a bit of a half cactus. This is half Lord of the Fishes. Really, really good bit of an intense twist. We're just wringing out everything that we just did. Allow each breath to take you further into your twist. Can you twist a little deeper? Can you look over your right shoulder? Take 2 more rounds of breath. As you inhale, slowly unwind. Begin to take your feet back out in front of you. No rush getting there. We'll move into the other side. So you know the variations now. You know how your body feels. You choose where you're going to go. Inhale, bend your left knee. Option to take it further, left foot outside of right thigh. To take it further, bend your right knee. Your right foot comes towards your left hip. Ground your left hand down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist towards the left. 10 breaths here. Your last 5 breaths. Can you take it deeper? As you inhale, slowly come back to center. Take your legs back out in front of you. We're going to do a really nice restorative pose for the next couple moments. So take your feet, the bottoms of your feet together, just like we did in the beginning of class. If you have blankets or blocks, grab them now. So I don't have a blanket, but if I did, you can place a blanket on top of your thighs and resting on your knees and your thighs. And if you have blocks, just take those out in front of you. So if you have a blanket there on your thighs and your knees, you'll just grab a hold of your ankles and just start to lift your spine and lift your gaze. As you exhale slowly, slower than you want to, fold forward. Having that blanket there is going to feel so good. It's nourishing all of those organs within the stomach, the digestive organs, the psoas muscle, the lymph system, everything that's there. So if you have blocks, you can take the blocks so they fall under your forehead. If you don't have blocks, again, just let your head hang heavy. Where can you let go? In everyday life, it's really hard for us to let go of things that are no longer serving us, but we still feel like we need to hold on to them. One thing I'm having trouble letting go of in everyday life are the anxieties that come with life. What's going to happen, the what ifs. Sometimes I feel like they're always around me. They're always nagging at me and trying to get me even more anxious than I'm already feeling. But whenever I come back to my breath and to my yoga mat and I practice letting go, I almost train myself to no longer allow those fears and anxieties to bother me. So I pose that question back to you. What can you release? What can you let go of? We're going to take 3 more rounds of breath here. On your last round of breath, slowly come up. Slowly walk yourself back up. Remove any and all props. Begin to take your feet out in front of you. And gently lower to your back. Good. We're going, before we come into our very, very final Shavasana, we're just going to counter the pose that we just did. So take your feet to your mat. Make sure that you can touch the bottoms of your ankles, or you can graze them with your fingers. Plant your hands down into your mat. Inhale, lift your hips up high. We'll stay in our bridge pose for 5 breaths. If you can, tuck your shoulders under and interlace your fingers under your sacrum. Get strong in the glutes here. We're really opening up the front body and the chest. We're stretching it all out as we just did the opposite in our restorative pose. For your last 2 rounds, lift your hips a little higher. On your last exhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, let it go. Sway your knees from side to side. Get out any final tensions that you need to. And whenever you're ready, head to your final Shavasana. I will make a suggestion if you have blocks or props, blankets, books, place them under your knees or your thighs. Your legs can still be nice and straight. This releases your lower back, so any pain that you have in your back, this just helps to release that by grounding your knees. As you lay here in your Shavasana, as you let go, just allow yourself to be. Note that I will bring you back when it's time. Slowly begin to awaken, coming back to your breath. back to your body. If you're on props, just gently remove them off to the side. One by one, take your feet to your mat and then your knees to your chest. Give yourself a hug. Extend gratitude one final time to yourself. Roll over to your left side. Reach your left arm high. Just find fetal position for a moment. Take your right hand down to your mat or down to your floor, the grass, wherever you are, and just have a moment of gratitude with the structure that you're in today, or with the beautiful nature if you're outside. On your own time, at your own breath, gently begin to come up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. Inhale, reach your arms up high. Exhale, palms to your heart. One more time. Inhale, reach up, gathering energy. Exhale. Thank you, yogis, for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. The light in me sees and acknowledges the light in each and every one of you. Go in peace. Stay safe. Namaste. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending. It was so lovely, as usual, to guide everybody through their practice. And again, for anybody who is participating through Fit in the Core, we offer yoga classes every Thursday at 7, $10 drop-in, $45 for a 5-class pass. There's also lots of other great classes that you can attend that are virtual, so these will be virtual for a little while. But if you have any questions for me, you can email me. My email is Reanna, reanna.yoga@gmail.com. So again, thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day.